What's going on, everybody? Here today, we're just now getting over a tropical storm that was a hurricane that hit Florida. Hope everybody had come out all right from the storm. But as of right now, I got my cam and my lifter kit coming in. Should be here tomorrow sometime. So we're just gonna jump ahead and make this a part one, part two when I get the cam so we can install it and everything. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take all the accessories off. Fan shroud, the alternator, and all of this other good stuff. The intake, the carburetor, the distributor, the accessory pulley, bracket, the fan, the water pump, and all that good stuff. And I'll try to do the best I can for y'all to be able to see. So I'm kind of excited, guys. So I'm gonna do the best I can to show everything in part one and everything in part two, putting it all back together with the new cam and new lifter. Breaking in and the whole nines. So y'all just sit tight, buckle up, and let's have some fun. That's what this is all about. It's having fun, learning, and teaching. For those of y'all that don't know. Alright. For the time being, we're just going to go ahead and jump right on it. And if y'all would, please like, comment, and subscribe to the video. Because if I can get, normally wear my sunglasses while I'm outside. It's a little cloudy, it'll make things a little dark. But if I can get at least 100 subscribers and somewhere in the ballpark of 500 viewers, we're gonna do a big burnout, and I will talk to somebody to see if they want to race. This is a 5.7 350, and the man that I'm thinking about racing has got a 302 Ford Mustang, and his name is Robbie Hewitt, and he does have nitrous hooked up to it, so we're gonna have to have him to cut his bottle off if we get to that point. Alright, so let's have at it, you guys. We're gonna start here on the driver's side. We're gonna go down here to the fan shroud, which is a 10mm socket with extension and a 3/8 drive, or a 3/8 impact, so we can try to speed some of this process up. Get some of my tools out of the way. Get some of these dudes here taken off. Now I'm going to screw around, and I'm going to end up stopping the video, stop the recording, and I'm going to have to do all all kinds of crazy stuff to delete that, get y'all started back, a full fresh video. Anyway, we got the bolts taken out of the fan shroud. Gonna go ahead and pull the water hose back, pull the fan shroud out. I don't know about y'all, but I work for a living, and I'm on a very tight budget, and I'm gonna recycle this here coolant because it's fairly new. So, if y'all got any comments, y'all jot that down and let me know what you got to say. And I'm gonna go ahead and get me a screwdriver, flathead, so I can get these hoses taken off. Sorry about the wind, y'all, because like I said, we had just literally got over a tropical storm. We had a bunch of threat of tornadoes yesterday when it was approaching to us. As far as I know, none of them had touched down in Brunswick, North Carolina. But I thank God for him to keep his hand upon me and my family and my friends. Yep. That's coming out the intake port. I ain't really worried about that. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed to do the rest of these hoses. This part here is the actual part that feeds back into the radiator from the heater core. Just try to prop that up so it just pours out just a touch. We'll go ahead and we're going to take this here other side of the hose off where the thermostat is. One more hose after this. This is the reservoir hose. We'll prop it up so it really don't leak all out, every bit of it. Now we're going to drop down here to the bottom radiator hose. Get that broke loose. Hey you guys, I know, like I said, I'm pretty new at doing the YouTube videos and everything, guys. This is something that I enjoy doing, is working on vehicles. It's ran through my family for a while, just like a shrimp business that they started back in the early 50s. So yeah, Barnum's has got a lot of talent, especially when it comes up to working on vehicles, doing something about fish and shrimping, oystering, clamming, all that good stuff. But I got to get me some hand wrenches so I can get my transmission lines off the transmission. Off the radiator. This is what we got going on here. We got to get this top one, get the bottom one off. Alright, we got us a 13mm. Go ahead, take our transmission line off the alternator. The daggone blaming radiator. Once we get these transmission lines taken off, we should be able to go ahead and take out the daggone spider gone somewhere. I ain't playing with you. Alright, we got the top transmission line off. I'm going to try to show y'all this bottom one. Alright, we're getting her loose now. Alright, now up next, I guess we just gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the radiator out. There's a radiator. Now we should be able to take our bottom fan shroud after we get the bolts taken out at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that and see what we got. I don't want to show y'all that boring bottom trowel. Alright, got them 2 bolts done at the bottom fan trowel. Go ahead and we're gonna lift that bad girl out of there. Now we got full straight access to take all this junk out of here. I'm about the only one that can say junk because it's mine, but it's really not junk. Damn spider. You'd have thought the daggone rain, as hard as it was, it would have washed all them little bastards up out of here. Alright, well, let's take a look and see what we got next here that we want to go ahead and start taking off. I guess we go ahead and we're going to start taking off here the fan. Okay. There we go. And the fan nuts are going to be 13 millimeters, you guys. There are only 4 bolts to this clutch fan. Got us one out. Got 2 out. Got us 3. And just remember, you fellas, the mechanical fan right there, it also holds the water pump pulley on, so you can mess up some BS if you continue to take off the other bolts to the mechanical fan. That's what we're going to do. Let's do something smart. We're going to detension the tensioner pulley. Go ahead and take the belt loose, and that would be a 16 millimeter on that pulley. You don't want to put that on here because it won't fit unless it's 17 or 18. But you'll put it on that pulley and you'll pull it this way. Pull it towards the battery or the passenger side of the vehicle. We're going to take our belt off so we don't happen to get no. Yep. Already. Trying to accomplish something good and already knocking y'all guys off y'all feet. Dang. Anyways, as I was trying to say, go ahead and take the continental belt off so we don't get it damaged by any kind of coolant leaking on it. And we can take our mechanical fan off. Take the last bolt off the water pump. Take the pulley off the water pump. Set the pulley to the side. We're going to put our nut back here on the stud for the mechanical and the water pump. The mechanical fan and the water pump. So now we got full access to all the bolts to the accessory bracket here. Sit y'all back here up on this here breather. Taking off the ground strap. So when we pulled this accessory bracket off, we go ahead and take it completely off with no snags or nothing. We're going to take our negative ground cable that's mounted up on this accessory bracket, and we're going to take it off. We're going to install the nut back on there, or the bolt, excuse me. Alright, now that's done. Swap out sockets, and that was a 13 millimeter for both of them. One I used the socket and the other one I used the 13 hand wrench. Now we're going to take a 14 millimeter on this 1/2 inch impact. And we'll start taking some of these bolts off of the accessory bracket. see here. Let me take off this here alternator first. Now then how I'm starting to get into the electrical part of this here situation. What we're going to do, we're going to disconnect our positive cable so it has absolutely no current whatsoever no more, because the ground's off and the negative is sticking off. So we're going through here to take off the alternator, which is 13 on both bolts. There's one. And there's two. I just want to take it off and separate it from off of the accessory bracket, because I don't want nothing to happen to that. That costs a little bit too much money for it to be getting ruined. Take a 10mm for that one wire. On the back side of the alternator. And got the red wire taken off, and we'll screw that nut back on. And now we can pull our alternator off. We're going to install back our nut on this one. The long bolt on the bottom of the accessory bracket there. And then we're going to take the small one and bolt it back up on the back side of the alternator. Just for extra caution so we don't lose anything. We're going to set that in the bed of the truck. Now we're going to switch back out to our 14mm. We're going to put an extension on. After we get the accessory bracket taken off, we're going to install these bolts back on here so we don't lose them. Let's see where to put my... Alright, we're going to take the radiator hose off of the water pump so we can get full access to these two bolts for the accessory bracket. Hey. Come on, Sean, get on off of there. You want some? Come get you some, boy. Alright, I forgot I had paused the video for just a moment, but we're on the last bolt for the pulley accessory to get taken off. Alright. There we go. Now this is just how I do things. I got it pulled off to the side on the driver's engine bay, and now we are straight up full access to doing everything else we need to do. So I believe what we're going to do next, not rocket scientists with it, I believe we're just going to go ahead and bust these bolts off of this water pump, which they are 13 millimeters. Well, hope we don't have no issues there. It started to back it off and then it just all of a sudden stopped. I don't know what the problem was there, but it is backing out. But it just got like real hard from my 1/2 inch impact to back that bolt out. Alright, now we got our water pump out. That was hanging in the water pump of the engine bay, or in the block itself. I'm surprised I haven't had a water leak. Well, that's, oh my goodness, well that thing was nasty. Them gaskets are toasted. Alright guys, now see my timing cover, harmonic balancer, and my pulley. So we're going to jump up and we're going to start taking the intake off. I think all we're really going to do is just take the intake off. We'll take the breather off, we're going to take the intake off, disconnect the DT TV tent and the throttle linkage off of the throttle of the 4-barrel. And we're going to unplug our distributor from the tach and the battery. And we're going to pull the distributor up. We might mark it. I don't know. But for right now, we're just going to take the intake and all that good stuff off. Alright. So I'm going to try to let y'all find a good place to see it at. We'll put that there and take this off. The intake bolts are 14 millimeter. We're going to have to take off our thermostat. And we're going to have to take our heater hose off from the intake. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to take this and fish it over here out the way. Let's see, take our return spring, we're going to lay it up there. Go ahead and disconnect our throttle linkage and our detent, or TV, whatever you want to call it. Got them taken off. I'm going to replace that back so I don't lose it. And go ahead and unplug the PCV hose off. Let's see. That's going to stay. So it's this one that we got to take off. Head up to be a 13, I do believe. 13. That's just a little setup how I was able to get my linkage for my throttle, especially the TV cable, to set correctly with the height and the angle and all that good stuff, because I was in a big rush when I did all of this and I didn't order the right part. So y'all about to see what I got. I got a double nut with this big old bolt, and I got this here old Craftsman 1/2 inch for the other part of the spacer to get this dude here in its right height and angle for my application of what I'm trying to get done, for what I have gotten done. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna disconnect our spade for our tach and disconnect our battery. Those of y'all that don't know, if y'all are able to see that plug right there was to the old coil, and all I did was cut the red, and I'm using the power from the ignition switch off of this. So that's part of the TBI to verify to y'all guys that this application is doable and it does work perfectly. We're going to disconnect our spark plugs from the cap. And don't worry, on the installation of putting everything back together, I will show y'all how to hook these bad boys up. So we got that off. It's all out of the way. Just throw them off to the side. Take the rest of these four. Take them and throw them off to the side over here. Now, it really don't matter how we do this. We could take the booster hose off, or we can take it off here on the back side of the carburetor for a brake or brakes. But I'm just going to go ahead and take it off the back side of the carburetor. Slide my clamp way up there to the brake booster. Come on, baby. Don't bust my knuckles. There we go. Now we got that off. Now up next, this is where my fuel pressure regulator return is, my gauge, my inlet, my filter. That right there goes to the carburetor. Don't that thing right there look beautiful, y'all? Look at them full bangers. Sound like a doggone bull running down the damn road. That shit going really, that motherfucker moo bull is really gonna do some moving when this cam gets put in here, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and take our fuel supply line off of the carburetor. Feed that through here. Get that pinned up right there behind the gauge and the fuel regulator returner. So, now, take these wires here and push them a little further back. And I gotta get me a 9/16 hand wrench. I'm gonna let y'all stare at half of the 4-barrel and the HEI distributor for just a moment, and I'll be right back. Oh. Alright, fellas. See where my wrench is going to? That's a 9/16 bolt for the hold down of the distributor. You would want to take it and turn it towards the intake and the carburetor to loosen it. And once we are able to get this bad boy taken off, we're gonna pull our distributor out. It's a little of a tight spot. But it's just about out. Just want to be careful because you don't want to crawl up under the truck when it just got through raining like it did here in North Carolina. Those of y'all that were in the middle of the hurricane and the tropical storm that went through Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, I hope everybody is doing fine. Alright, we ain't even gonna worry about the marking or anything. We're just gonna go ahead and pull our distributor up. Well, I'm a jackass. We are gonna have to pull the daggone cap off too. Sometimes I'm telling y'all people, I get so excited doing everything that I'm doing that I forget. It's not because I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I forget. I get excited, y'all. I've been waiting to do this cam swap out with new lifters for quite some time now. And now I'm ready to do it because it's supposed to be in tomorrow. Big old boy right there. High ignition distributor. Now we can pull it out and get it out the way. And just to let y'all fellas know, this was my Uncle Kenny Varnum's distributor right here. Alright, get this pushed back a little bit further. That wire's still covered up pretty good. Alright guys. Now I gotta get one more wrench so I can take the thermostat, the temperature gauge off. And we're gonna take this hose off. See, that's 14. It'll be at least a 15. That was a 9/16. I'm sorry. But yeah, we got to go and grab that real quick. And after that, we're gonna start taking these bolts off of this intake. And we'll be good to go with it. Alright guys, we're back. We're gonna use this adjustable wrench. We're going to use, it's supposed to be a 16 millimeter. Get the top broke loose. Get your temperature dude taken out. Honestly, that can stay in there because it is not going to hurt nothing. And we're going to see. Yeah, baby. Turn for me. We're going to get this hose taken off. That goes from the intake into the heater core to produce the heat inside the truck. Pull up on that bad boy like so and get her tucked and got the way. And get these wrenches and that screwdriver out the way. And I did say that these are 14 millimeter intake bolts. We're that doggone close to getting her taken care of. Disassembling. I don't know if y'all are able to see that. I hope y'all are. If I could ever get my socket plugged up to my wrench, my impact. Set these bad boys off. Now, I'm going to switch out. Nope. Huh? Had a feeling. Let me get me a short socket 3/8 14 millimeter. And we're going to use the rest on it with a ratchet. Now when I do work on this particular truck, I was telling my girlfriend's cousin, I got so many tools that it's doggone almost unreal. So I had to separate half of the Craftsman that I have for work and for what I use on working on my stuff. But I also got Blue Point tools, and I got Snap-on. That's what we're using right here. It's a Snap-on 14mm. And I told him when we do work on our vehicle, we use quality tools, which would be Snap-on and Blue Point. And Mac. I even got Mako tools too. Alright. I'm crawling up inside the engine bay with y'all guys. We got 6 more bolts to go. Ouch. I'm just breaking them loose for right now. I know you're not really able to see what's really going on. But I'm going to try to show y'all here right now. Then how I got them all broke loose. Just going to use the socket to get them the rest of the way out. This is the back left side. Set that right there. The back right side. Got that one out. I'm gonna set that one down. And get this one taken out. This one. After this one, then we got 2 more. And it's like slightly up under the carburetor. Alright, getting this one here taken off. Alright, now we got this one here. If anybody wants to know what this is, that's just a block off plate for a manual choke. And as y'all can see, I don't have no electric choke or no manual choke. I stay here in Southport, North Carolina, guys, so it really does not get that cold. to have any kind of choke like that, which I have been kind of lucky with that situation, because I know some vehicles have to be choked. It don't matter where they're really at, but I've been kind of lucky with that situation there by not having to have any kind of choke on my carburetor. I'm trying to sit y'all guys so y'all can see what I'm about to do, because we got all the intake bolts taken off, so now we're really ready to be able to pop this intake off. See, the video that I showed about cleaning the carburetor and about cleaning the intake, it helped in a way, because I kind of slightly prepared myself to do this cam swap out. Y'all get where I'm coming from with that? But anyways, enough of that jibber jabber. We're gonna go ahead and get me a pry bar. We're gonna pop this here intake off. Alright guys, got me a pry bar, and just kind of looking around, see where I can stick this here bad boy at. Well, I think I got it sealed up so good that I can't even find nowhere to pop it up out. I have seen some people pop them up right here, but I ain't gonna do that because I don't want to mess that up. So, I guess we're gonna go and get us a flathead screwdriver. Alright guys, I got me a flathead, big boy flathead screwdriver. And got me a little hammer. And we're gonna tap here on the front of the intake of the engine block. It's breaking it loose. Now we got this pry bar in there. All we doing, I don't know if y'all was able to hear that, all we were doing is breaking the seal of the silicone and the gasket that is up under this intake. So I do believe now that we are able to pull the intake up. We shall see here just a second, as soon as y'all stop moving. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes sir. Alright. Now, we're going to completely remove the intake and the carburetor off the engine. I still got the original box that my intake come in, and we're just going to pull the intake up along with the carburetor still attached. We're going to sit it inside the box. There y'all have it. Y'all see a pretty clean, that fell in the motor. That fell in. So y'all don't see no type of coolant in here. She is very clean. Very clean. Yes sir indeed. So, what we're going to do next, I'm going to try to record as much as I can on this video to go ahead and get it prepped. So all we got to do on the next video is install the cam, the lifters, the push rods, the rockers, the timing cover plate, all that good stuff. You know what I'm getting at with this. We're going to do all this as much as we can of disassemble to get ready to install. Okay guys, so y'all just bear with me. Let's try to have some fun with this, because like I said, I'm very excited over this. See, talking about Matco, there's a Matco socket. And that would be a 10mm on the valve covers. Before I start doing the valve covers, I'm just hurrying up and installing my bolts back on the front of the engine so I do not lose any of it.